Welcome back, folks. I am Jon Najarian, and this is 3 at 3. And as you have probably come to realize, every day at 3 p.m. Eastern Time or thereabouts, we bring you unusual option activity that our heat seeker algorithm has ferreted out from the literally millions of quotes per second that stream from US exchanges. So without further ado, this is the May 27th edition of 3 at 3, second to the last of the month of May, or something like that. Close to that, I guess. I guess Monday, the 31st, since that's a holiday, we won't really count that. Here is the disclaimer. And our disclaimer is that all investments involve risk, and past performance of a security does not guarantee the performance in the future. If you have never traded options before, do yourself a favor and read up on them at a minimum. Get one of our courses. Do something to educate yourself on options before you trade them, folks. They are a fabulous vehicle, but you can hurt yourself pretty bad in them because it is a leveraged vehicle. You can also lose money pretty fast just buying stocks. Ask anybody. Before you take anything that I'm about to present and just employ it, make sure that you understand the risks that are inherent in any investment. Intellectual property rights, yes, we have registered marks, trademarks, patents, and copyright on almost everything you're about to see. So feel free to share the video of this, but please do not present it in any public forum without citing us and without asking us. This is what is known as the Fear and Greed Index. Now, this works the opposite of the VIX. When the VIX is low, we know people are confident. When the VIX is high, people are fearful. This one is the opposite. When the Fear and Greed Index is at a low reading, that means that there are more active people in the markets that are either short or scared than there are bulls in the market, which would push it up to 60 or 70 or 80%. What does that look like? Something like this. This is a 1 month look back at that Fear and Greed Index. And as you see, from basically the end of April until about the middle of May, that Fear and Greed Index was solidly over 50, 50 being, of course, right, in the middle, equilibrium, and pushed several days into the 70s. Now, 70s aren't necessarily way overconfident. We've seen some of those readings this year. We've seen readings as high as 82, I think, or 84, which would be extreme overconfidence. But look at where it dropped off from the middle of May all the way down to a low reading of 10, actually a 9 point something on that Fear and Greed Index. That meant that approximately 90% of participants were more fearful, and the 10% that were in there at that level when it was reading 10 were the severe minority, not majority. And generally, when things are really oversold, like when we get down to 10 in the Fear and Greed Index, that's a great buying opportunity. When we get into the high 70s or 80s, that's usually a sign that the markets are overconfident and we're about to correct. This is just a quick chart of Cardano. This is a cryptocurrency that I trade frequently. And as you see, last Friday, it was about $1.80. You can kind of see it buried under that red line on the far left side of the graph. That green arrow shows you where it bottomed, which was approximately $1.05 or so. So to fall 70 cents, to lose nearly half of its value, and then to rebound all the way back up through 180 late last night, just shows you how violent that move has been in the last few days for cryptocurrencies. Those big V-shaped bottoms, I could show you dozens of them in cryptos. There's my brother Pete back on the 14th of May when he was doing his show, The Take. He does it live every day at 10:30. And as you see, Snowflake was rallying. There were 3,000 of the June 205 calls bought. There were also June 240 calls sold. They did that for a net of about $8.60. And Snowflake was approximately $201 at that time. There is Snowflake as it rebounded from an early sell-off today that took it down to 220 to move all the way back up to 243. That was a beautiful move, and one that I caught during the day, but I was not long into this. I might have been scared out of it this morning when it was down $13. But my brother Pete, long and strong, held on to this one and made a very nice trade out of it. Look at that volume today too. Average volume is 5.6 million shares. It changed hands some nearly 14 million shares, and that was just moments ago. And there is me talking a little bit about that and about Pete, and of course the 3 at 3 hat in the background next to the bull behind me. Just making sure you guys are aware that in addition to Best Buy, which is already reported today, we've got more earnings today and big lots tomorrow. Just wanted to be sure that you were aware. This, I wanted to make sure you were aware, is our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and you type in Market Rebellion, you will find that. And you would be able to click that subscribe button as the arrow indicates, and then you would be a subscriber for free to all of the videos that we put up there. Every single video that we put on that site is completely free. And you'd be able to watch them at your leisure, perhaps learn a little bit more about spreads and things like that from Pete doing his show, The Take, every day. What did it say today? 238 episodes or whatever he's already done. My 3 at 3, our 60-second video in the morning, AJ Monty, the Daily Crypto Bite, all of those, our roundtable, all of those videos up on the YouTube channel for free. Just go to YouTube, type in Market Rebellion, and subscribe. Here's me talking about Peg Cigarro. It's a company out of South America. This is in the digital space. And we were talking about the June 50 calls with the stock at 49. There it is. When the stock was basically at 49, we saw 5,600 of those June 50 calls changing hands. I'd say take a look at that one. We are in that trade. MarketRebellion.com/UOA is where you could go to learn more about how we do what we do as far as finding unusual activity, following unusual activity, and profiting from unusual activity. We also cut losses quickly when we have losses in those trades. Probably 1 out of 4, somewhere in that range, is a trade that we have to cut. But my discipline is that I cut if the option loses half of its value. So if I paid 70 cents and it falls to 35 cents, I'm out. If I paid $1 and it falls to 50 cents, you get the idea. 50% drawdown in the option, I'm out. On the other hand, if it's moving the right way for us and I'm able to take profits, when the option doubles from $1, for instance, to $2, I pull half of it off, let the rest run with a stop snugged up about 20 cents, 25 cents underneath. As we keep going up, I keep snugging that stop order up along with it. If it pulls back and hits that stop, I'm out, and we've then cashed out and made our profits. This is Gogo Internet with the stock at $13.32. Was up about 5% on the day. You know the story here. As clients of the airlines get back onto those airlines, Gogo provides the internet, not for all, but for many of the flights that we take, certainly the ones I take. And you can see that from April, when it was beneath 10, end of March, beginning of April, to today, it's made a nice 30% upside move. Apparently, people are betting there's more in the tank, and that's why they're buying the June 15 call strike. That's 1 month into the future, June 15th. There's the Gogo, 1326. They bought 10,000, nearly 11,000, which would be 1.1 million share equivalent, a big trade. Here is our daily crypto bite. We do this every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We break down the crypto market, what's going on, what is Ray Dalio saying about Bitcoin versus bonds, buy. And we talk about the best opportunities in crypto at that time, long and short, technicals and fundamentals. Check it out. You can join for $1 for your first month, by the way, by typing marketrebellion.com/try crypto. That's marketrebellion.com/try crypto. And here's Dropbox. Dropbox was my final trade today. Bullish call buying. Again, 10,800 seems to be a common theme here. Almost 11,000, which would be, again, 1.1 million share equivalent, because every option is for 100 shares of stock. They're buying the June 29s, which were about $1.25 out of the money. There is a chart as Dropbox is 27.80. Again, still about $1.20 out of the money to those 29 strike calls. But I like the trade. I like the activity. And even though it's moved up from the middle of May, when it was 24.25 to now 27.80, I like for it to continue to break to the upside. All right, questions. You've got questions, we've got answers. So let's hit those questions. At Jon Najarian is how you send them to me on Twitter. Evan Lurie, his handle is at Lurie, Lurie 92. Jon Najarian 3 at 3. Lots of call buying in GM. What do you make of it? I make that both these car makers, General Motors and Ford, the two primary American car makers, alongside Tesla, which is also an American car maker, are getting bullish, because as these guys get some of the chips that they need, they're making more cars. They're not delaying those cars any longer. Doesn't mean they've got all they need, but I think General Motors and Ford have a happy problem, and that is more demand than they can supply. So yes, I still like it. BBW, Build-A-Bear Workshop. Random Nonsense, and his or her handle is random, RANDOM NONSENSED, Random Nonsense D. Any thoughts on Build-A-Bear? I like Build-A-Bear. It's not the time of year when I normally would be as jacked up about it, because that would be basically Labor Day. Had to remember, because we're coming up on Memorial Day on Monday. Markets will be closed. Labor Day through Black Friday. Why? Because a lot of parents will be buying their kids Build-A-Bears for Christmas. But this is a year-round phenomenon, is Build-A-Bear, based up there just north of us in Wisconsin. And I like the stock, but as a seasonal trade, I like it better in the late fall. And if you would like to get started in trading stock options or futures, go to marketrebellion.com/get started. That's marketrebellion.com/get started. And you can learn all about the mentors and coaches that we have that could assist you. If you can afford private tutoring and so forth, mentors are a great way to go. You'll learn faster. If you're somebody who likes to do distance learning, we have that. You'd be able to open up your iPad, your laptop, your desktop, and check out those tutorials and make sure that you take the tests at the end of each chapter, so you know really what you think you know before you move on to the next chapter. It's just one more way that we try to make sure that you guys have the best opportunities, that you've moved the odds farther into your favor before you put your hard-earned money on the line. All right, that's going to do it for today. I thank you for joining us, and I'll be back on the halftime report tomorrow at noon Eastern. Of course, the 60-second video in the pre-market, and then 10 o'clock a.m. tomorrow, Daily Crypto Bite. Tune in. See you then.